I'm back. How are you? It's been a while, hope you've been yada yada yada. Time for another 40k report for the frickin' channel. Though reports will be less frequent than before, for a while at least. It's my first game of 9th, Custodes vs Knights. As you can see, I've given the channel design a bit of an overhaul, but the format remains the same, which means it's time to take a look at our army rosters. We're playing an Eternal War Strike Force mission, Frontline Warfare. For secondaries, we both chose the mission-specific secondary Vital Ground, which awards 2 points for each no man's land objective held, and 3 points if you hold the enemy objective. We also both chose Engage on all fronts. I went for the obvious pick of Titan's Lairs, while Knights took First Strike. Deployment. I leave my Terminators and Terminator Captain in Deep Strike, and pay 1 CP to Deep Strike the Telemon 2. Also sticking Eternal Penitent on it. I then deploy weighted to the left flank, with only 1 squad of guards on the right. Oh, ignore Ephrael Stern and Kaigadel there. Knights stick those 2 characters in Deep Strike, and set up the Free Blade on the far left, next to the 2 Warblaves, while the other 2 Knights go more central, with the Endless Fury Warlord just right of center. Knights win the roll-off and take the first turn.
You just have to be prepared to die.
Okay guys and gals, let's frickin' do this. The left flank moves up aggressively, with the Free Blade coming forward, and the Helverins running up to sit on one of the no man's objectives, ready to score from it in round 2. The other 2 Knights are more cautious. Shooting sees 2 Knights launch everything they have, into my jet bikes. The bikes are in range of the Vexilla, so get a sweet -1, and I also pop Genetic Alchemy on them, reducing the Knight's wound rolls to 4+ only. It's not enough to weather the onslaught though, as the leftmost Helverin can draw a bead on them, and helps to finish them off. The backmost Knight then takes aim at the Caladius, and destroys it with some strong thermal cannon rolls.
This is becoming unacceptable!
There was simply nowhere the Caladius or the bikes could have deployed where they'd be safe from this alpha strike, as these parts of the ruins are less than 5 inches high, so don't block the Knights shooting, and the height and speed of the Knights meant they could see over what they needed, or if not could always move to find an angle. No points for Knights just yet, so on to the Golden Banana Boys. What you can see in the picture is all I have to play with, until my Deep Strikers arrive next turn. I can't afford for Knights to claim both of the no man's objectives next turn, so Trajarn and one of my guard units move up to threaten the Helverin. My other unit on the right has to advance to get in range of my home objective. In shooting I just chip a couple of wounds off the Helverin, then both units manage to make their charge, Trajarn making his 11-inch charge with the help of a CP reroll.
Thank God.
Trajarn absolutely mullers it on his own, and after this pick they all consolidate towards the objective. No points for me yet either, and I only killed 1 unit, so Knights will get 8 VP at the end of the game from First Strike. Knights spread out to maximize engage on all fronts, and they'll also be getting a ton from primaries this turn. We'll check out the score sheet at the end of each round from now on. Ephrael Stern and Kaiganel Deep Strike down here to threaten my Vexilla. The Free Blade keeps a healthy distance from Trajarn, as in a couple of fight phases he could feasibly blow through a Knight.
He's strong.
In shooting, the guard squad holding my home objective is blown to smithereens. And the squad defending Trajarn gets a good pasting, but 1 guy to survive, largely thanks to Genetic Alchemy and some jammy save rolls. In charges, only Kaiganel makes it, and fluffs his attacks, taking 1 wound in return. So at the end of their turn 2, Knights have scored 10 points for primaries, 2 for Vital Ground thanks to the rightmost Knight, and 3 for Engage on all fronts. First Strike is scored at the end of the battle so I won't record it till then. Right, time for some sweet payback, as my big nasties arrive in a blaze of golden light. My Telemon and Terminator captain pop down near my home objective, and my 5 Termies arrive over here. Here's a closer look at how the situation on my right flank looks. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier that I also paid to make my captain a commander, and gave him +2 wounds. In shooting, the Telemon doesn't achieve much, if anything, thanks to the 4++ on this big bugger. But I decide to try out some of the spicy new shooting strats with the Termies, and make them double fire and auto wound on 6s to hit. This results in the knight taking a total of 13 wounds, leaving it with just 11 left.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I'm quickly running out of CPs due to all these hot stratagems, so I decide to use the Dreadhost supercharged strat on the Termies only. The strat gives them a 3d6 drop the lowest charge roll, and it comes good. I leave my other guys to guard my home objective, figuring the Termies can handle the knight now, once I give them +1 to wound with another crazy new strat. Well, a ton of wounds do get through, but I was too stingy to pay an extra CP for an extra point of armor penetration and... the bastard absolutely bosses his 5+ armor save, managing to survive on 4 wounds.
Give me something for the pain, and let me die.
Better news over here, though, with Kaganel bouncing off my Vexilla and getting mullered in return. So in my turn 2 I only get 5 points for primaries, as when the squad near Trajan took casualties it left me not holding the objective. Just careless placement really. I do get 2 more each for vital ground and engage, though. The score at the moment is 15-9 to Knights. The knight over here pulls back from the Terminators. Here's another angle so you can see the backmost knight better, which is holding onto its home objective. The free blade presses further into my half of the board, while the Helverin retreats, and Ephriel Stern squares up against my Vexilla, enraged by the loss of her silly clown friend.
Is it going down? It's going down.
In shooting, she unleashes her psychic not psychic mortal wounds attack, which goes off, but only causes 1 wound. The Terminators come under a lot of fire. I pop the strat to ignore AP-2, which for 1 CP is an absolute godsend, however I still roll like crap as you can see, and 2 Terminators die. The free blade unloads on the Telemon and causes 9 wounds. Finally, there's just 1 combat, as Stern charges in. They turn out to be quite evenly matched, and take 2 wounds apiece. This does leave my Vexilla clinging to life on 1 wound, though. So having ceded the left no man's objective due to a fear of Trajan, and the right one to the Terminators, Knights only score 5 points for primaries, and another 3 points for engage on all fronts.
Trajan. Trajan.
My turn 3. Trajan and the last guard stay near the left objective, hiding behind a small ruin, to avoid as much firepower as possible. The Telemon has gimped movement now, but staggers towards the wounded knight, hoping to finish it off. The Termies stay near the rightmost objective. Sending them night hunting at this stage seems like it'd be a pointless endeavor. My Vexilla stays in combat, for the epicness. In shooting, the Telemon finally finishes off the knight.
Got him! Got him!
The bugger explodes though, doing 2 wounds to the Telemon. Ephriel proves too much for the Vexilla, and butchers him, so this turn I actually get 15 for primaries, and a whopping 4 for vital ground, as well as 3 for engage on all fronts. Noise. My board presence may be rapidly dwindling, but the points are rolling in. The free blade moves round the ruins so it can shoot at the Telemon. The other knights hang back, due to needing to hang on to the home objective and to keep scoring engage points. Ephriel Stern sneaks in beside the free blade in order to start picking on Trajan. In shooting, Trajan goes down to combined mortal wounds from Ephriel, and some lucky potshots from the Helverin.
Bastards! You all suffer!
Elsewhere, though, I get pretty lucky. The Telemon manages to tank a full volley from the free blade and suffer no wounds, and I have a single CP left to use on the Terminators, to ignore AP-2, and they also survive unscathed. Knights only score 5 more points for primaries again, then, but another 3 for engage on all fronts. On to my turn 4. A super exciting turn here, then. I need redundancy on an objective, and the only way to achieve it is for the limping Telemon to advance, foregoing its shooting. My captain shuffles round a bit too, and my last guard just runs onto the leftmost objective. Nothing happens in shooting and there's no combat, so let's go straight back to the scorecard. 10 points for primaries, and 2 more for vital ground. Looking at my units, I should get 3 more for engage on all fronts, I think, but on my physical score sheet I only have down a total of 5 points for engage. So either I messed up the total in a previous turn or turns, or I just forgot to add those points. Either way, I can say right now that it makes no difference to the outcome of the game, so fortunately it doesn't matter this time round. Gotta be more careful in future. I didn't take a picture of the score sheet each round, only at the end, which is why I might have made a mistake. It's currently 43-30, to me. Yowza, those primaries are really saving my bacon. So in Knight's last turn, they wipe the board clean. The free blade shoots the Telemon then tramples my shield captain to death. Ephrael does a super smite not smite thing and obliterates my last guard, and the Terminators go down to combined shooting and combat. I have no models left so my turn 5 is even more uneventful than my turn 4. Let's see the final score sheet at the end of the battle, then. Knights get only 5 more primaries points, and another 3 for engage on all fronts. I of course score nothing in turn 5. I then pick up 10 points for Titan Slayers, while Knights get their 8 points for first strike. This means the game ends with the Custodes' victory, 63 points to 51. Holy frickin' shizballs, that certainly did not feel like a victory. My guys got absolutely mullered, so to win on points feels weird to say the least. It just goes to show how important grabbing those objectives is in the new edition. It was the first game of 9th edition for both of us, so obviously we were feeling it out and just getting to grips with the mission. The eagle-eyed amongst you may have recognized this game, because it also exists in video form. I've put a link in the description should you wish to check it out. I normally wouldn't do a slideshow report if we also got it on film, but I made an exception for this one as I wanted to put something out after such a long break. Anyway, thanks for checking out the report, please leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that shiz.